have to give all praises Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Waha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostle and the elders who teach and do well. Shalom to all the brothers who keep the truth all around the world. In truth and sincerity. And shalom Maham to the Akim. And also the few Aquafiam that we have that, follow this truth and hope for salvation. With the Hebrew Israelite. And as usual, most times commissioners, to warn our people, in these times, especially around those times, get second Ezra 9. I love those ones. I love that precept.
Second Ezra 9.
Yeah, 9 that one.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. And it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently.
He answered me then and said, so that's the angel, all right, the Alahayam, all right, the
or messenger.
The Shana'an.
Or you could say Malak.
Yeah, the Malak. Yeah. God was speaking to the prophet Ezra, right? So he was telling him, measure down the time. We have to measure the time. That's the reason why the Most High is calling us as, servants of the Lord, as evangelists, as prophets, as keepers of the Lord, and as faith people of Yahweh, Mashiach. He's telling us to measure the time. And when we measure the time, we have to let our people know. Like I always say, before Yahweh bring the judgment, he has to bring his people because he is a judge. Because when you go to the court system, before the judge passes judgment, there is a whole protocol.
That's right.
You've got a 12
jurists.
The jurists that deliberate to see, whether the defendant is guilty or innocent. All right? And you got witnesses. They're calling for witnesses that were there when the actual event took place. All right? So they can give them, based on all of that, now the judge passes judgment. But the Bible says, as it is above, it is below.
That's right.
So these people took from Yahweh.
Right.
He's the one that put them in.
Can I just add? Right. So when you're in a court, first off, you have 12 jurists. The 12 jurists represent the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So in ancient times, you will have the elders or the heads of the house of the tribes, and they would be sitting council to adjudicate.
That's right.
So now the judge in the ancient times would either be the kings or the prophet. So he would be the judge adjudicating. And then, what was the other thing you mentioned? Oh, the witnesses. So the witnesses now, in the scripture it says, out of 2 or 3 witnesses shall thy word be established. So basically, one witness alone is not enough to validate a thing. You need 2 or more.
And that's the reason why the Most High always allows you. Well, in some cases, like your brother in Australia,
Yeah.
Sometimes he's on his own.
But the Spirit is a witness.
Yeah. So in that case, but if like London where there's a lot of people in the truth, it's not really wise to go on your own. Go with someone. Unless, like they say, desperate measures and desperate times.
That's right.
Then but if you got a brother that can roll with you, that's the reason why Yahweh he told he was saying that 2 by 2.
Exactly.
Alright?
Exactly.
Because before you give out a judgment, there has to be witnesses.
And there's a protocol.
Let's get a witness before Matthew 18.
Yeah, exactly. And you could also get
Matthew 18, right? Verse 15.
Yeah.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
That's right.
And he shall bear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. All right? But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses,
There you go.
every word may be established.
That's right.
And the reason why the Most High, because he know Jake, he know that Jake is the hard-headed, spirit. And eventually, so what's going to happen if you go on your own now? They'll be like, well, you never told me anything. They can turn around and lie.
Exactly.
But if you go with someone, that other person, the next one, bear witness that you actually warn the people, all right, before the judgment. So the Most High is fair. If you haven't heard it, if you haven't heard the gospel, then how can you judge?
That's right. And that's why he always sends a prophet to prophesy before he judges.
And that's why he said these gospels will reach the end of the world, and then will come the end.
That's right. And
go on.
And to the brother or brothers that are on their own, there's 1 or 2 around the world that are on their own.
Yes.
I just want to say the Spirit itself bears witness.
That's right.
So you're not on your own.
You're not on your own,
there recorded.
Yes.
So the Spirit itself.
That's right. That's right. Because like I say, desperate times.
Desperate men.
Yes. So basically, you have no choice but to do it. So the most even that show more character and strength, because you can just sat back and kick back and relax and say, yo, I'm on my own. But you went out and did it. So the most I can say, the angel are recording that, so you will have your portion.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
But the reason why I brought this one out is because I want to show how much of the judge the Most High is. All right. So anyway, the Most High said what?
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou time diligent in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, verse 2, then shalt thou understand. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world.
That's right. So the Most High is telling us right now to measure the time.
Right.
But the reason why our people are oblivious to what's going on is because they don't measure the time. They don't have the skill, they don't have the ears, the spirit, and the eye that allow them, that give them, all right, that allow them, that allow them to actually measure the time. But how do you measure the time?
Yeah, it's a spirit of discernment.
That's right. You gotta have
it's a gift of the spirit.
All right. So if the Most High don't give you the spirit of discernment, how will you know what's going on?
That's right.
But right now we can just, discern. And what do we see right now? We see a plague.
That's right.
Actually, I want you to go to now.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, bring it out.
Yeah. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end.
Right. So this kingdom was given authority and power for a season. All right. The Most High gave to Rome the authority to conquer our nation for a season.
That's right.
But what does it say? Read it again.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning.
Has a beginning. So Rome had a beginning.
That's right. And the end.
And now Rome is about to face its end. All right? How are you?
And the end is manifest.
And the end is manifest. And how is the end manifest? The end is manifest by our power reading it.
Verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs.
All right, so when the ending, is supposed to happen, there are signs out there, man.
And effects.
All right, and effects. And since, I always say that since March 2020, we're able to see these signs
and effects.
and effects.
That's right.
All right?
Verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works.
All right, and everyone shall be saved. So basically, we are at the end. We will break it down as we go. But we're making like some sort of an introduction, right?
That's right.
So the Most I say what? Read that part again.
And everyone that shall be saved.
And everyone that shall be saved. That means there is destruction coming to the land. All right? The Most High is about to destroy this land through plagues, through famine, and through destruction to wars.
That's right.
So he's telling us how we can be saved. As children of Israel, he's telling us how we can be saved. Read that again.
Verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved.
And everyone that shall be saved.
And shall be able to escape.
And shall be able to escape. To escape, you need to be in a messed up situation.
That's right.
You need to be in the midst of danger.
That's right.
To escape.
That's right.
So the reason why he mentioned escape is because very soon something will happen.
Can I just add?
Yeah.
To escape means that you're captured or you're in captivity and you're escaping from
And
it.
that's even deep. And that goes to Hebrew Israelites.
So that's pointing who it
All
is.
right? So that's pointing who he's talking about. Because right now, prophetically, who are the prisoners of wars? The Hebrew Israelites,
That's right.
the so-called Negroes and Hispanics.
That's right.
Taino Hispanic for South America, the West Africans,
West Africans.
all right, the Jamaican and the
That's
Caribbean,
right. That's right.
the Black American, and the native, in a reservation
That's right.
in America, in Florida and so forth,
And the dispersed.
and the dispersed as well, and the dispersed.
Yeah.
These everywhere, like I'm talking about, I'll give you one case of the dispersed, the silly people.
Yes,
In
yes.
India.
In India, yes.
They
That's
are
right.
at the bottom,
They
man.
call them untouchables, by the way.
Right, there's a reason why they call you
I know.
They are at the bottom
Of the bottom.
of the
Really
bottom.
are.
They are prisoners of war.
That's right. That's yeah. They
All
have
right, they are prisoners,
That's
just
right.
like you are prisoners of war.
That's right.
All right, and don't think just because you don't wear your shackles around your feet and your neck anymore, you're not a prisoner. But the Bible clearly says that once they take the yoke off our neck, that means we'll be destroyed.
Totally destroyed.
That's why you don't know who you are. So
That's
you
right.
are the prisoners of war. All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, start verse 7 again from the top. Alright. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 7 from the top. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works.
By his word, that means you're going to have to prove yourself to Yahweh, to the God of Israel. You're going to have to prove yourself, man. All right? And since Yahweh, this God is a judge,
That's right.
it's about keeping the law.
That's right.
So you will have, as a black and Hispanic, to keep the law of the Most High
That's the word.
for you to be saved. Because believe me, judgment is on his way in the UK, man. And that's the reason why the Most High is sending us to warn you people. All right?
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works.
Right.
And by faith.
And by faith. Why? Because since we're in captivity, we can't keep the law 100%.
That's right.
But we still need to do the work. The work is in two angles.
It's two elements.
Two elements. You got the first element, which is the keeping of the law.
That's the word.
I would say the rehearsing of the law.
Rehearsing of the righteous
because you
acts.
can't keep the law 100%.
100%, no way.
This body in captivity don't allow you
That's
to
right.
keep the law 100%.
right.
But nevertheless, you can rehearse
Yes,
the righteous act of the Most High, which is learning to keep the laws.
That's right.
By keeping the Sabbath.
That's right.
Not eating swine.
That's right.
Not eating and catfish.
That's
and
right.
prawns,
That's right.
all right, and lobsters and
That's
all of
right.
that, all right. And for the women, wearing skirts, not wearing
yeah.
trousers, being humble, submissive to your husband.
That's
for
right.
the men, not shaving your beard.
That's right.
And keeping the law and going out there and teach.
And prophesy.
If you are the servant of the Most High Yahweh, as the Hebrew Israelite, as blacks and Hispanic, we have to. Our whole thing is to serve the Lord.
That's right.
And the reason why we're in captivity, the reason why we renewed slavery and colonialism is because of the fact that we went against that power.
That's right.
All right? We go.
Verse 7. Whereby ye have believed.
Where you have believed, and you have to give the faith in who? The faith in Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai, okay, Mashiach, give his blood for us. That's when the Most High was angry at us.
That's right.
The Most High had mercy and gave his own son for the house of Israel, not for the whole world, as they want us to believe, but for the house of Israel, which are the blacks and Hispanics, all right, and Native Indian,
West
African and Caribbean, so on and so forth.
That's right.
All right.
Verse 8. Shall he, Salakia, verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
All right, so the Most High actually has mercy on us. He still has mercy on us, man.
That's right.
He still has a plan of salvation for the blacks and the Hispanic and the native, for the Hebrew Israelite.
That's right. And can I just add, when it says sanctified from the beginning, another way to say that is he set us apart from the others from the beginning. So sanctified, set us holy, set us apart.
All right, now go to 2 Numbers 15 and start at 18.
15 and 18.
All right, because through the Bible, through this word, through this prophetic word, the Most High is able to let you know in what season you are right now.
That's right.
Because one of the gifts of the Israelite is being able to measure the time.
As diligently, yeah.
So we will measure the time for you, Lord. We will measure the time for Third Olive and let you know, all right, what time it is. And it's up to you to make that move wherever you want to, hearken to the voice of the Lord. Because whatever you want to know it or not, whatever you accept it or not, the blacks and Hispanic and the native are the children of Israel. Now, the problem with that is that our God, our power is a judge.
That's right.
And he will judge.
That's right.
That's why he said, you will be saved based on your words and your faith.
That's right.
You can't say, oh, I won't take the vaccination, the vaccination. Oh, I'm fine, I'll fight. You cannot fight against the beast.
No.
It takes the power of the Most High on your life to be able to fight the beast. All right? So go to 18, bring it out.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 18.
Break it
For
down.
because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed,
18?
and men
Are you
shall
sure? 18.
Yeah, and men shall be afraid. So when it says
2nd Ezra 18.
Yeah.
15 and 18.
15 and 18, yeah. So when it says, for because of their pride is a form of idolatry. Because when you're prideful, what you're actually saying is, me, it's all about me, and you're not glorifying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So you're putting yourself in front of the Most High, and that's pride, right? So when it says, 18, so when it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, it means that the
That's like a 16 and 18.
Oh, 16 and 18. All right.
But it's a spirit.
Yeah, it's a spirit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 16 and 18.
So
Well, you start 16 and 17.
Yeah,
Start
so-
17.
yeah.
So you can put down whatever you want.
All right, so this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 17 to 18.
Bring it out.
Woe is me! Woe is me! Who will deliver me in those days?
All right. So war means destruction.
Destruction.
So the prophet Ezra, it was able to see the destruction that we're about to see in our time.
That's right.
And that vision was so terrifying and horrible. You have to scream, woe is me, woe is me, who will deliver me in these times. That's how terrible these times are in.
Yeah.
We are in some terrible times,
That's
man.
right.
Because you thought, you know, the COVID-19, the VID-19 and that, you thought that that's something that is too, no, that's just the beginning. When you read the 18, read 18, it goes right into what I want to say.
Right.
Read 18.
So verse 18, the beginning of sorrow.
The beginning of sorrow. So the VID-19, right, is the beginning of sorrows. So from the 20th, from March.
Yeah, you said that,
Yeah, from March 2020.
March the 20th, 2020.
Yeah, March 20th, 2020. We have entered officially, all right, the beginning of sorrows,
That's
man.
right. And great mornings.
And great mornings. All right, people are not really happy these days, man.
Right, so great mornings. If you want to understand great mornings, think of a loved one who suddenly passes away.
That's right.
And think of the way that, in particular the women, but sometimes men too, they grieve. Sometimes it touches your soul when you see how they grieve. So that's a great mornings that they're.
And we're about to see that, man.
We're about to see it manifest.
We're about to see, because people don't understand now that vaccination that haven't been tested. They didn't even take time
It takes
to
at
test it.
least 10 years.
This is where the virus lies.
It's a live virus that they're sticking.
All right, they're sticking virus into you, man.
And then
but you
see
don't
what
see
happens.
you don't see the effect right now.
No, you're not.
But we're about to see it. The morning will manifest very soon, man.
That's right.
Very soon we'll
That's
see
right.
the mornings.
That's right.
For all you people who took the vaccination,
That's right.
you will see mornings, man. Whether it's your loved one
Yeah.
around you, at work, in your family, you will feel the wrath of the Most High.
That's right.
Because it's coming back to collect. All right?
That's right. The mornings, I'll read it again. Read the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death.
The beginning of famine and great death. The famine is coming, man.
And let me just
All right.
famine is one of the one of the worst ways to die, because your body's literally eating itself because of lack of food, and you literally get to the point where all you can see is a skeleton with skin over it. It's quite horrible to see.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous
It's
thing.
a
But the thing about
dangerous
it, people will start eating the babies, man.
Well, that's prophesied too.
People will gang up and eating the weak one amongst them.
That's prophesied too.
All right, they will eat the little ones when
That's
the famine
right.
comes. If it's not the famine of food, it's gonna be something
The famine
terrible,
of the
man.
word.
It's gonna be the famine of the world. You won't be able to see
Yeah.
us out there, because I know
That's
they're
right.
seeing us out there. They figure, who are these waste men?
That's right.
We're not waste men. We are the prophet of the Most High.
That's right.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai.
Oh, that's quite deep. So
All right.
the beginning of famine, it can also illustrate the beginning of the word not being pushed out.
Oh, yeah, he says that.
Which will lead to, because when you don't eat food, your body withers away and you become a skeleton.
It will be a
skin
drought,
off.
man. It will be a drought.
When the word is diminished, you become a living dead. The dry bones in the
That's
valley.
right. That's right. That's
Right.
right. And that's right. And that's the reason why the Most High, He's still giving mercy, He's still showing mercy to His people.
That's right.
By manifesting people like us all over London and everywhere. And
Four corners of the earth.
and around the
Yeah.
world.
The four corners
Because
of the earth.
we represent the breath of Yahweh.
That's right.
Because we the lawgivers, man.
That's right.
But because you are in captivity, you don't understand. You rather go and watch EastEnders than listen to us. Rather go on YouTube and watch your favorite, channel than listening to us. But very soon you'll be saying, oh, who are these guys that used to come and, once every week in Tottenham to keep the word. All right? To give the word and to give warning. What are they? We want to learn now. Right now they see us and they're laughing at us. They see my garment. And they're like, who's this guy? Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. What's wrong with these people, man? What's that? All right? But they don't understand that's how the Most High move.
That's
Just
what
when,
it is.
I always say this, the same way He manifests angels
That's right.
to test people,
That's right.
it's the same way He manifests His prophet.
To test people.
Okay, the prophet, I know all of that, like, coming with an A game,
No.
eloquent,
No.
know how to speak.
No.
No. We bring the raw, man.
Yeah, we're rude.
All right? We're
not
rude in
in knowledge.
speech,
Yeah.
but not in knowledge. We raw. We come from the struggle, man.
That's right.
Because in order for you to understand Yahweh, you have to go through certain pain.
You have to
go through some things to understand Him. But people out there, they're having fun. Even during the pandemic, some people are still making money.
Yeah, they're having fun, man. Yeah, they're living their lives.
Some people are having fun. They're buying the last gears.
I know, right?
The last garment, the best garments. They're having the best thing.
Online shopping.
All right, the online shopping. You know, they're doing their thing right now. Making the money some way, somehow. So they don't feel the need to listen to the prophet of the Most High, to the messenger.
And that illustrates the pride from the precept before. Well, it was through the Spirit, the right precept, because it's illustrating the pride in the city.
That's right. And that's why the Most High now, He's bringing famine and sorrow.
That's right.
That's the only way to break down.
That's
the only way to break down, you know, the so-called black man, the so-called Hispanic, is to humble them through pain. I mean, no, it's only when they go to prison they start praying the Most High.
I know.
And they say, yo, God, if you take me out of this situation, if you get me out of that message out, you know, I'll serve you. But they come, and after 3 months, they want to be gangster again. They want to be good. And the girls, they want to be tough. They want to be harlots.
That's right.
Okay? Carry on.
We start from the beginning? Or?
Start from the beginning.
Right.
Let the words speak.
Yeah. So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 18 from the top. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear.
Listen, wars is coming, man. I always say that the third war, the third world war has already begun.
That's right.
But there's many phases, all right? It has already begun, man.
That's right.
Nation will go against nation, man.
That's right.
The Russian will go against, you know, America, man.
That's right.
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
All right? So it's coming, whether you like it or not, it's coming. But the Most High applies to insult. It's something called gradualism.
Yes. Yes.
Everything's not coming. That's why it says, let me see if I can find it. Let me go to Revelation 3, see if I can find it. If I can, Alright, I'll paraphrase it. Basically, there's a precept in Revelation saying where the Most High say that the angel of withholding the four winds.
The four winds, yeah.
Alright, they're withholding the four winds.
Right.
Why? Because the number of the elect is not complete. Just like when the Most High wanted to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and because of Lot, He didn't destroy it because one righteous person in the town will stop the Most High from bringing certain judgment, man.
And just to add to that too with Lot, you know, Lot was supposed to hurriedly leave and he sort of lingered. And the angel kind of pushed him out.
That's right. You know what?
And that's the same thing showing our people now. A lot of our people, they want to come into the truth. They want to change their ways. But they linger. And too late shall be the cry.
That's right, my brother.
Don't linger, man.
Do you know that you're an Hebrew Israelite?
Right?
Do you know that you're an Hebrew Israelite? Do you know that you're in, look, that Bible, that's your history, you know.
Alright, so we could all listen. Majority of these things come about in the 18th century. Right? Majority of these things came about in the 18th century. Right? It's called the Royal Society. Alright?
The what?
The Royal Society.
The Royal Society.
Yeah. These people are called the Masonic Order.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Now, they are known in the Bible as Abraham.
As who?
Abraham?
No, they're not.
No, but see,
no, but alright, go ahead.
Let me go ahead.
So, they control all the religion. Right? Because religion was invented by the Methodist Church in the 18th century.
Absolutely.
Alright? Now, me and you, we were born at this time we weren't. Our schooling, right, is our fooling. Right? Because they lay down for us, that's their foundation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Now, The Anglo-Saxons, I'm telling you something, came about what, 600 AD, 700 AD? The Anglo-Saxons, central Germany.
Around that time.
Right. Now, we've got evidence. It's a pyramid there. Making a timeline to dates back to 3000 BC. Okay. Yeah? I'm asking you brothers, yeah? Where's our book?
Okay, so you're asking
I'm asking you, where's our book? No, I'm not consenting because our language is not their language.
Okay,
right?
can I answer?
They use Latin.
Ask us a question.
Yeah.
You want to answer?
Right. So our book is this book.
No, it can't be.
No, can I answer?
You see, all the we agree with what you say, we let you speak.
So what happened is our people were not captured, but basically we were taken over by the Greeks and then the Romans, right? So when they took us over and they were dominating the region, what they then did, they got some of the best scholars of our people. They got some of the best scholars of the Egyptian people. They got some of the best scholars in the area around to decipher all of the books in what they then called the Alexandrian Library into Greek. So what happened was, we were the ones that took our book, which was written in a form of writing called Paleo-Hebrew, or if you want to call it Proto-Pagan, doesn't matter, right? Which is this. Right? Before that, it was in the book. Yeah.
When the boss comes, you can go.
Right, so we deciphered our scriptures into Greek. The Septuagint would be the name of that particular document. But when you line up the Septuagint with fragments of the Nag Hammadi library or the different, or for instance like the Moabite stele, which is written in Paleo-Hebrew, it lines up. So I can emphatically tell you that it's our book. The problem was, there was a period of time in history where we were forbidden from reading, and during that period of history, they, as you rightly said, mistaught us. And what we are doing now is we are reading it for ourselves, and we are teaching our people the true scriptures and the true meaning of the scriptures. Because when we write stuff, we code it. Just like when we talk, we code it. So for instance, I'll give an example. For instance, if I was in America or some of the guys in England, I was doing their shot into, and you say, what are you doing? They say, yeah, man, grinding. When you read the scriptures, it's got the same terminology, grinding, right? What is grinding? When you're digging out your money, whichever way you can. It means the same thing, right? So all I'm trying to tell you is, I understand what you're saying, I understand the history you brought out, and it's correct. The only issue I had was with the Abraham bit, but everything else was correct.
Put it this way, when you went to China and we saw Chinese inscription, how are we going to decipher that? We wouldn't, would we?
Because it's not a language.
Right. Now, how can the first time the Europeans went into Egypt was 1798 or 1799? French, right? They call you back.
No, they never did before that.
No, they never. That's what I'm trying to say to you. We all need to get together and have one path of understanding, and we all can move forward.
Yeah.
Right? All of us got different stories at different stages, yeah? Alright, I'll be blunt.
Yeah.
There wasn't no Romans, there wasn't no Greeks. Yeah? Greece was founded in 1830. Rome was founded in 1840. All this is done by the Royal Society. 1840 AD and 1830 AD. 1830 AD and 1840 AD.
Well, okay.
Greeks and the Romans were founded.
Before you go, do you know about Severus Septimus?
Alright, here I go again. We are born here. We are born here. We are told a story which is prior to us. That's schooling. Right? They're making us complete as our foundation. Yeah? Greek language and Roman language.
But you don't listen what I'm saying.
No, listen what I'm trying to say.
Because you talk about timeline.
Timeline.
I don't really agree with it because...
If you go look it up when Greece was founded in 1830 AD. It's in writing, 1830 AD. That's correct.
But you just say that how do we know that when we... I told you about Severus Septimus. and you say, how do I know that that's the truth? When you go to the same source,
No,
and
no,
then base the truth on it. There's something
I'm not
different.
onto the same source. I'm saying to you, what you're saying does not exist. This was
How
this
does
came
not
about.
exist?
This
How
came
does not
about in the
exist?
1880.
How
this
does
came about in
everything? Look,
This came about in 1881 and 1885 and 1895. Yeah, that's when the Zion culture came in, right, and then the reverse recopy.
do you know about the icons?
Right, the recopy of the.
Do you know about the icons?
My friend, what you're saying to me, right, is created by the Royal Society.
So how would people that conquered you, tell you a history that glorify you?
No. How's it glorifying you? Okay, all right, you're saying
But
that.
let me
Show
finish.
me, right,
Let
a
me
black
finish.
character in the Bible.
Let me finish.
Show me a black
Oh,
character.
wait.
Show me.
Wait, wait a minute.
Come on, man. Let's go.
No. Just 1 second before we go. I'm going to go there, but it's one.
Because he's coming, the boss is coming. And I will show you.
All right, yeah.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
Hold it for edification.
Yeah.
Let's get in. Go to Acts 13, and I will go to Revelation 1. Yeah? 13 and 1.
13 or 1.
Let's see if he has a bit of history. Let's see.
Yeah.
That's history.
Right. So this is the book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger or Nigger, and
All right.
Lucius of Cyrene, which is North
That means
Africa.
black, right?
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
now.
So, hold on.
It means black. Yeah, that's what it means.
Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
no,
on.
black.
Yeah, in nigger, but we were known.
It means
that-
black.
that's
That's what it means. It means black.
Listen.
Nigger.
Yeah,
It means black.
Yeah, but
All it
we
means
were
is
black.
that. No,
The
hold on,
Jews.
see.
Hold on.
We're not arguing.
You asked the question, we're not arguing.
We're not
You asked the question,
arguing.
we're trying to answer, right?
No, it
So let me read now, right? The description of the one that they call Jesus. Let me read this. Yeah? Revelation 1, verse 14. All right? His head and his hair were white like wool.
White.
Just like, look,
Right.
let me finish.
Right.
Hold on.
That's what is what
You
colour?
have it right now.
What colour is
Let me
that?
show you.
But let
All right,
him finish,
done,
because we're allowing
You see that, brother? You see his beard? You see his beard? All right? No, sorry about that. I just wanted to show something because...
I wouldn't mind up, right? I'm trying to say to you.
Let me
I know
finish.
you're trying to
At least
go
let
on,
me
go on,
finish.
go on.
All right? His head and his hair were white like wool, like his beard.
I like
all right?
that.
And like his... Yeah?
Yes, go on.
Just let him finish.
And his eyes were as a flame on fire.
eyes were red.
And his feet like unto fine brass. What's the color of brass?
Italian, Spanish.
No.
What's
My
the color
skin-
of brass?
Right?
My
Italian,
skin-
Spanish.
What's the color of brass?
Italian, Spanish,
My-
Arab.
What's the color of brass, my
Right,
brother? Don't
right,
do that,
Arab,
man.
Arab.
No.
Italian,
He's not
Spanish.
asking
What,
me.
that's the color of brass.
Is it?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Brown.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, go Google.
Right,
Go Google.
Call that
No,
brass
that's
and
not
that.
brass. That's,
Right.
okay.
Call that copper.
Okay, hold on now. We're not done. Listen to this. He said, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
All right, now.
That's dark. That's black.
Anybody with a tan skin, right, could be classed as dark.
All right, go to Lamentation.
Right, if you're not white, right, so your class is dark.
Hold on, we got more. We got more. You asked us a question. You say, show me one black person in the Bible. That's what we do.
No. You only give a description. That's what you give a description of something. But you haven't shown me a person because you look at this
That's
way,
how you show.
right?
No, come on. Let's be honest.
Right, Adam and Eve, yeah, if you look at it,
They were black because they were made
How?
of the brown.
Black and black.
The brown
Right,
is
listen,
dark. It's brown.
They claim to be, right, they're from a Jewish race. Yes? Yes or no? Right? They're from a Jewish race.
No.
No. Listen to what they're writing and trying to interpret what you think it is. Right? Listen to what they're saying. Right? King James is not going to sit down there and write a Bible to go and put you before him. He's not going to do it. I know you're trying to do.
Go to.
Right? I read a note.
I want to say,
Right? And you read a note. Yeah? We
Sons
both
of
read.
Solomon.
Right? We both read. Respect anyway.
Respect my brother, have a good so okay, through the spirit now, the brother, and that's how you know that our people are destroyed, man.
Oh yeah, I've got the point back now.
Right, so you're gonna break it down.
Right.
Hold your point, I wanna make a point before we carry on. Sorry, it was Sons of Solomon, yeah?
It was
It was in Lamentation 4 and 18 to prove that we are black. So the brother asked me, right, if I can show him one black person in the Bible. Mind you that this Bible is written. So in order for you to show to someone that Yahweh was, for example, black, You have to read the description that was
Exactly.
given and then analyze it.
Exactly.
There's no picture, but I gave it to you and say, oh, that's just a description. It doesn't mean that he's black. See?
Exactly.
That's how you have people. He's a smart brother. He read few books. Yeah, he look like a king. All right.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you see, we are destroyed.
For lack of knowledge.
Yes, my brother. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That's blessed.
Yes.
Blessed.
Yeah.
We are a destroyed people, man.
That's right.
That's just the proof. There is, the brother has bears, right? That look just like the description.
That's right.
But yet we don't get it.
And even the skin color too would be the same.
Exactly, he looked just like Yahweh Shai.
Exactly.
That's why I show him on camera so you can make up your own mind.
Yeah, exactly. But you didn't want it.
You can make up your own mind of how our people are destroyed. It's a serious thing. Bring out your
Right.
point now for
So the point
education.
I wanted to make now, he was trying to say that the brother was trying to say that in the 18th century, the alleged Masonic orders or whatever orders, they came up with all of these theories, right? Now he was correct when he said that Napoleon went into Egypt in the, I think it was around the 18th century. Fair enough. That's correct. Now, what I wanted to bring up, which you can allow me to bring up, was when Napoleon went into Egypt, they found the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone was a stele that was engraved the Demotic language, the hieratic language, and the Greek language. And that's how they were able to decipher the pyramids, the hieroglyphics in the pyramids. Because when they looked at the Demotic and the hieratic, and then they understood the Greek, they were then able to understand the ancient languages. So he tried to say that Napoleon or the people of that time came up with a concept, but he actually, if he would have allowed me, proved our point, which is the Greeks were there, they went into the library and they interpreted the scriptures, and how many thousands of years later Napoleon found the stele.
But it goes to show that our people are lost, man. They think they know, but they don't know. And sometimes you want to talk to them through logic. But even that, you can't tell them because they're completely lost. He's telling me that the Greek and the Roman was created in
the 18th century.
Some it doesn't make sense. So I asked him a question. I said, do you know about Septimius Severus?
Exactly.
He said, well, how do you know? So I said, okay, so you're ready to tell me that it's a lie, but then you're going to go and read something. Because he told me, I said, how do you know? He said, read it, read it. It's out there, read it. So he went to the same source to get his information, which in this man is correct.
That's right.
Then when I go and tell him, and also, people need to realize it's not necessarily the European, okay, who showed us what we got. We got a lot of our scholars that went into places and got it because the European had it and they kept it. And the Most High allowed some of our brainiacs and scholars to go into places and be able to identify and know that that was us and make research on it.
That's right.
All right? Or when the more society fell, they left everything. So the Caucasian came and they took it. That's why you have museums and all of those things. They're cut in the nose, everything. They built their empire on our empires.
That's right.
All right. So when you're telling me, how do you know? You're taking it from the same people. So I asked him, what do you know about the icon? He's telling me, no, the icons is what they give us. Come on, the icons are found on walls in the catacomb in Rome.
All right, talking about that, basically there's a PDF that I put on the stick last week. Yeah. So basically, you know, Brother Malachi lent me a book. In the book, right, you have the book. So in the book, they was describing one of the things that Benjamin Franklin wrote. Yeah, I actually got that actual essay that he wrote. What he wrote was that the Swedes, the Russians, the French, the Germans, with the exception of the Anglo-Saxons, all of England, with the exception of the Anglo-Saxons that move into England, all of the Iberian Peninsula, which would be Portugal, Spain, France, Italy, were all black people.
But the Anglo-Saxons are black as well.
Yeah, I know, but the Anglo-Saxons, what we call Anglo-Saxons, is actually the Edomites and the Amalekites that are here.
No,
But we know who
the original
we know,
Anglo-Saxons,
but it's in the letter.
Yeah.
So they know this. What we're saying is not a made-up thing.
Right, so there's...
It's well established.
Exactly, it's well established. Because I remember that same guy, he used to do lecture in 1800.
That's right.
Right, few hundred years after they re-established themselves, they used to make scholars, Edomite scholars, used to make lecture about us,
That's
about
right.
our glory, man.
That's right. So where
All
I
right.
would give him credit, is the timeline he brought out, which is around the 18th century. That is actually where they really did try to whitewash everything.
Well,
it
the
started
Masonic
before
order
that,
was
but
created in 1700, right?
Exactly.
So from there, you got
That's
the
where it started.
iconoclasm, you
Yes.
got which is the whitewashing of the
Right,
icons.
right.
That's why they're trying to bury
Our history.
our history. So now we're born in the 21st century or whatever, but we don't know much.
no.
All right, we don't know what's going on. Because you go to school and they tell you what they want to tell you.
That's right.
They tell you what they want you to know. But now when the Most High now, allows you to go into certain books and find yourself, that's when you get the truth. But apart from that, if you don't have that mentality, who know about that book? Because all of the time people come here, they tell us about, what's his name? King James.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
Edomite?
Yeah.
King James was an homosexual.
Right.
Because they've been told, but the same way they're coming with those lies, it's the same way there are actual information showing that King James was a black man.
And by the way, that's one of their crafty counsels. So what they do, they call it character assassination.
That's right.
So when defamation of character.
Defamation
so when
of
they
character,
come
yeah, defamation.
bring you down, which he was a king, so it was difficult for them to bring him down directly. They did it indirectly by slurring his name, slurring his character, actually lying about his genealogy because he was a Jacobite. So a Jacobite is an ancient term for Hebrew Israelites.
Oh yeah, Jacobite. Now the keepers of the laws, man.
Come on.
The keepers of the laws.
Come on.
All right.